Well, this morning, a father and a wife left trying to make sense of the senseless violence after this young man, 43 years old, was shot and killed at work. Here's what we know. A gunman started shooting yesterday. It was just after midnight at Jefferson Hospital on the 9th floor of the hospital and kills this man, 43-year-old Anrae James. He worked as a nurse's assistant. Father of three, was shot 6 times. Police say the suspect is 55-year-old Stacy Hayes. Apparently walked in and shot his coworker, again on the 9th floor of the hospital. And then you know the rest of the story. They found him in West Philadelphia, the shooter, and he exchanged gunfire with police officers. Well, joining me this morning is William James, Anrae's father, and Barbara James, his wife. I know this is tough, but thank you for being with me here. William, let's start with you, if you don't mind. Describe your son.
Yes. My son was a very loving person. He was a hard-working family man. He spent a lot of times with his family besides working, participating in sports with his son, driving his daughter back and forth to work, and just being an all-around good individual. He was a people person and always been that way. And he was doing everything that he was supposed to do as a family man. He was really following in my footsteps because that's the way I raised him. That's the way that he knew. And I'm just devastated that something like this could happen to an individual doing everything the way that they say life is supposed to go for a working man, going to work, leaving his family that night, being on the job, and someone can walk up on him and assassinate him on the job. That's what it really was. It was an assassination. He was assassinated on the job.
Yeah.
And being able to walk into the place, into the hospital, with a gun, go up 9 floors, 9, walk to wherever my son was, shoot him in the back of the head, and put, I think, 3 other bullets in him, and then walk out of the hospital and end up in West Philly.
I know, there's so many.
I'm devastated.
We've got to find answers, that's for sure, William. Barbara, would you describe your husband the same way as his dad just did?
Yes, my husband was a wonderful guy. Everyone knew him. Everyone knew him. And there's a lot of questions and answers that I need to why he not only left his friends and family, but he left me, he left his 3 kids. He won't participate or seeing his daughter graduate next year. He won't see his son graduate from middle school. We just had a child last year. She won't experience all of those wonderful things about her father.
Do you have any idea? I mean, he'd worked at the hospital for like 20 years, as I understand it. Did you know this man who was accused of killing him?
No, and this wasn't just random.
Oh no. He went in there.
This was intention for my husband.
Do you have any idea what was it about? Do you have any idea? Did he complain about a coworker or talk about troubles at work?
No, I just need it's something. I'm pretty sure HR knows something because there's no way how this man has so much anger for my husband and no one knows nothing.
William,
no one knows nothing.
Did he ever mention troubles at work to you? William?
No. No, we've never discussed anything about any trouble anywhere. The only thing that we talked about was, it was always about sports. He loved the Pittsburgh Steelers. We talked about game. We talked about job, days that he was off. And in the barbershop, he had 2 jobs. He worked in the barbershop too. So we never discussed anything like that.
Yeah.
And it's so, I just want people to know what is left behind. He has a wife,
Right.
3 children, and plus my wife is devastated, his mother. You know, you never expect to have to bury your child.
Right.
None of us do. We never expect that. But for it to go the way it went, for somebody to assassinate your child and then run away, and to run away, and then for it to happen on your job, you know, if you're on the street corner hanging out, doing certain things with certain people and doing all kinds of, okay, you can understand that, you can see that. But to go to work and die on your job, that's not real. That's not real. It shouldn't have never happened. It shouldn't have. He should be here right now. And I want people to know that he was a good man. He has a good wife, good kids. He comes from a good family. As the old people say, he comes from good stock. This is good stock here. And I'm devastated, I'm upset, but what I have to do now is I have to get healing energy. I have to heal myself so I can move forward, because I don't want to be in a dark place after this incident, because it can take you in a very, very dark place. And I have to start healing energy so I can help take care of my grandkids and my daughter-in-law, because they're hurt and devastated. We all are, my sons and my cousins, everybody.
It's almost, William, it's hard to explain, isn't it? I mean, like Barbara, how can you possibly explain this to the kids? One of the, like a 2-year-old child.
Is very hard. They're taking it very hard. My 1-year-old, she's going on to daddy's side of the bed, because that's where, you know, she would greet him at. And the last time that I was able to kiss him was that Sunday evening before he went to work, and to get a call 2 o'clock that morning. And I thought it was him, because I thought his phone had died, but it was the hospital telling me what happened. And I said, how? He was just working.
Working the overnight shift, like 11 to 7 in the morning.
Yes.
I'm so sorry this has happened. And let us know if we can be of any help to you. It's going to take a long time.
Thank you.
You.
That's for sure.
Thank you.
Right,
Yes.
Thank you.